Hey, it's Robin Schneider here with another episode recap for Doctor Who Online. Today we're talking about the two-parter The Hungry Earth and Cold Blood. And yes, there will be major spoilers, so if you haven't seen both episodes, consider yourself warned. It seems like this season of Who is trying to desperately retread where the Doctor has gone before, except with a sleek new update. First we had the IKEA Daleks, which at least still looked like Daleks, even if I did want them with a side of Swedish meatballs. Then there were the Weeping Angels, which gained the ability to walkie-talkie and evolve from statues. But which I didn't mind too much, probably because it was Stephen Moffat expanding on rather than rebooting what is arguably his best creation. And now it's the Silurians. Excuse me, Homo Reptilia, which look nothing like their predecessors, not to mention what happened to their third eye. To be honest, I didn't really care for this two-parter. If we had to have another two-parter, it should have been the Dream Lord episode, which at least had enough substance to be stretched. This felt thin to me, which is really a shame because I've always loved Chris Chibnall before. I mean, he was the head writer of Torchwood. This episode takes place in the year 2020 when a team led by Dr. Nazreen Chowdhury undertakes a drilling project that is quite literally groundbreaking. What, you don't like puns? It's the most ambitious drilling project in human history, but as the drill burrows deeper into the Earth's crust, there are some unexpected consequences. Basically, the first episode is a dragging prelude to the second. We've got Amy and the Doctor going off to investigate the drill, and Rory left behind, where he's mistaken for a policeman by a woman called Ambrose. Ambrose explains that bodies are going missing from their graves, which are being disturbed from below. Meanwhile, the Doctor and Amy investigate the drill site, where they meet Dr. Chowdhury and her assistant Tony. An earthquake strikes, and Tony and Amy are sucked into this quicksand-like hole. Tony escapes, but Amy is sucked into the Earth. And we can collectively hear the groans of the male viewership as they realise that Amy and her short shorts won't be playing much of a role in this episode. The Doctor springs into action, figuring out that the drill has disturbed something ancient underneath the Earth's crust, and that whatever they disturb will reach the surface in 12 minutes. There's a lot of scrambling as the Doctor reunites with Rory, turning the graveyard into a fortress. And then we get some bizarre horror film sequence of shadows running amongst the gravestones. Ambrose's son is captured, Tony gets hit with alien tongue venom, and the Doctor captures one of the creatures who he imprisons in the crypt. The prisoner, Alaya, is a Silurian warrior who's been hibernating beneath the Earth. She thinks of humans as apes and insists that the Silurians will rid the Earth of humanity. Meanwhile, underground, the Silurians are planning to dissect Amy. The Doctor leaves Tony, Rory and Ambrose to guard Alaya, and with Nazreen Chowdhury at his side, hops in the TARDIS and goes to speak with the Silurians in their underground encampment. Except it isn't an encampment, it's a whole city. And that's the end of episode 1. Yes, really. Episode 2 opens with the Doctor and Nazreen, or as I like to call them, the Doctor and the Doctor, being captured by the Silurians and brought to their laboratory for dissection. Meanwhile, back on the surface, Ambrose tasers the captured Silurian, which kills her. I was completely convinced that Alaya was faking dead, but nope, apparently you really can kill Homo Reptilia via taser. Good to know. Back to the Doctor and Nazreen. The Silurian warrior Reztak doesn't want them dissected. She wants them executed. But Silurian Elder Eldane steps in, and the Doctor makes Amy and Nazreen ambassadors for humanity. They try to work out a compromise of how humanity and Homo Reptilia can share the Earth. Everything's going well, and then Rory, Tony and Ambrose come in with Alaya's dead body. Everything's a bit slapdash from here. Reztak starts awakening an army, everyone is running through the tunnels, and the Silurian Elder decides that his people, Homo Reptilians, will go back into hibernation for 1,000 years until the Earth is ready for them. Nazreen and Tony stay behind as lovers, ambassadors, and there's more running. Just as everyone seems to have safely reached the TARDIS, Reztak shows up and shoots a gun trumpet thing. She was aiming for the Doctor, but Rory takes the blow. Rory dies, rather anticlimactically, and gets absorbed into a crack in time and space, erasing his entire existence. The Doctor reaches into the crack for a piece of debris that might help him understand what the silence is. But we all know that he's not going to get to that plotline for another 3 episodes. Honestly, I was massively underwhelmed by this two-parter. Instead of feeling nervous that the Doctor might not be able to negotiate peace between the humans and Homo Reptilia, or feeling anxious that characters might, die, I was just really annoyed by Reztak and Ambrose. Also, Rory's death was abrupt and hastily explained. It's rare to have a companion die on Who, and Rory's death wasn't handled with the appropriate gravitas. Of course that makes me suspect that Rory will be back in future episodes. Something to do with the crack in time and space, and the fact that Amy chose him over the Doctor in the Dream Lord episode. But then I suspected that Alaya was just playing dead after being lamely tasered, so what do I know? The main theme of this two-parter seemed to be the Doctor's failures. He failed to save Amy from falling through the Earth, failed to keep an eye on Elliot, failed to display the best of humanity, to broker an understanding between humans and Homo reptilia, and to help Amy hold on to Rory's memory. There were a lot of deaths in this episode, which were quite glossed over in an impatience to get to the bit about the cracks in time and space. What I liked? Matt Smith was brilliant and quietly terrifying when he confronted Ambrose, and when he realised that there was no compromise to be had between humans and Homo reptilia at the present time. It was interesting to see the Doctor's confidence in humanity shaken a bit, and how he handled the disappointment. He was also fantastic during the decontamination scene, but a great performance from Smith still couldn't save this two-parter. Question for the comments. What did you think about the reboot of the Silurians? Let us know on DWO or in the comments. Thanks for watching.